SurgiCast production. The cleanest you'll ever be. Mastering surgical scrubbing, gowning and gloving. Like a surgeon.
SurgiCast production. Surgical scrubbing.
In this video, we'll show you how to scrub in using the counted brushstroke method. There's also an alternative scrubbing technique, the alcohol-based hand rub. We cover this method in a separate tutorial, which you can access here. Let's go! Before you get started, remove all jewelry and accessories from your hands and wrists. Then, grab a scrub brush packet, open it, and place it on the ledge beside the faucet, open side up. A pre-wash is only necessary before the first scrub of the day, or if your hands are visibly dirty. For this, wash your hands and forearms once thoroughly with regular soap. If necessary, you should also clean your nails using the nail pick. Then, wash the soap off completely. Once your hands and nails look clean, you can start with the actual scrub. First, lather up the brush with water. The surgical brush is usually impregnated with an antiseptic. If not, add the antiseptic now. Then, turn off the faucet to avoid wasting water. If the faucet isn't sensor activated, use your elbow. The brush has two sides, a soft spongy side and a rough abrasive side. The rough side should only be used to clean your fingertips and nails. Throughout the procedure, keep your hands away from your clothing and higher than your elbows so that the water drains away from your hands. Start with the fingertips and nails of the first hand, scrubbing them with about 30 strokes using the rough side of the brush. Next, move on to the fingers of the first hand, for which you'll use the soft sponge side. Work your way systematically from the little finger to the thumb. The key principle of the brushstroke method is scrubbing all 4 anatomical sides. Use at least 10 brushstrokes on each side. When scrubbing your little finger and thumb, you should include the whole medial and lateral edges of the hand. Then clean the palm and back of your hand, scrubbing them thoroughly with 10 brush strokes each. Now you can move on to the forearm. Mentally divide it into 2 halves, which you will clean in turn. For each half, scrub all 4 sides using 10 brush strokes on each side. Do one area at a time. Once you've finished one part, you shouldn't go back to it. And again, remember to keep your hands higher than your elbows. Now repeat everything on the other side. Let's summarize the steps as a reminder. Scrub your fingertips and nails using about 30 brush strokes with the rough side of the brush. Then, switch to the spongy side of the brush and work your way from your little finger to your thumb, covering all 4 sides of each finger. Use 10 brush strokes for each side and include the medial and lateral edges of the hand. Next, scrub the palm and back of your hand with 10 strokes each. Finally, move on to your forearm, which you should clean in 2 halves. First, wrist to mid-forearm, then mid-forearm up to the elbow. For each half, use 10 brush strokes on each of the 4 sides. Now it's just a matter of washing off the antiseptic foam. Keep your arms bent with your hands higher than your elbows so that the water runs away from your hands. Move your hands, followed by your forearms, slowly through the stream of water. If you can still see some foam, don't move your arm back and forth through the water. Simply repeat this step. Unfortunately, if you accidentally touch something that's non-sterile, you will have to start over again, so be mindful of your surroundings. Now all that's left to do is dry your hands and forearms. You may be handed a sterile towel by a surgical assistant, or there may be a sterile paper towel provided with the gown. For each side, start by drying your hand, including the spaces between your fingers, and move up towards your elbow. Make sure you don't let the towel or your arms touch your scrubs and don't go back over areas you've already dried. And that's it. Your hands are scrubbed clean and you are ready to gown and glove. Make sure you keep them at chest height and a safe distance from your body and surroundings to avoid touching anything.
SurgiCast production. Surgical gowning and gloving.
In this video, we'll show you how to put on a surgical gown and gloves. First, let's go over the technique of gowning and gloving with minimal assistance using the closed glove technique. Make sure to check that you have the correct glove size and that the packaging is intact. The gown is often one size fits all. Open the gown packet and drop the package wrapped in paper onto a clean table. Open the gown pack by only grabbing the edges of the paper to maximize the sterile field. Make sure to really only touch the corners while doing this. The paper surface you've created in front of you is now your sterile field. You can now drop the sterile paper packaging of the gloves onto it as well. Do this by opening your glove package and letting the inner sterile packet drop onto the sterile field without touching it. Depending on what you're planning to do, it's now time to either disinfect your hands or perform a surgical scrub. After scrubbing in, keeping your arms elevated, dry your hands and forearms with the sterile towels in the gown packet. Now you can put on the gown that is lying in front of you, folded inside out with the collar and one of the two shoulder areas visible. Pick up the folded sterile gown so that it can't unfold on its own. Hold it securely in front of you and step away from the sterile area. The collar should be at the top. Now reach into the inside shoulder areas with each hand in turn and hold the gown in front of you with outstretched arms. Stand so the gown can't touch anything when it unfolds. Then, allow the gown to unfold by itself, making sure it doesn't touch the floor. If it doesn't unfold easily, try giving it a gentle shake. Once the gown is fully unfolded, carefully slide your arms into the armholes one at a time. You can slightly raise and spread your arms to guide each arm through the sleeves. Since you're going to use the closed glove method to put on your gloves, make sure to keep your hands completely inside the sleeves for now. Keep them at shoulder height so you don't touch anything and so that the gown doesn't slide back down. At this point, you'll need some help. Ask an assistant to pull the gown all the way over your shoulders and to help fasten the back and waistband. Keep your fingers inside the cuffs. Now we'll show you the closed glove method. First, unfold the sterile paper package and press the edges down so they don't fold back again. Grab the right glove with your left hand. Now place the glove on your right palm, flipping it over so the fingers point towards you and the thumb is on the correct side. With your left hand, pinch the part of the cuff facing up, and with your right hand, pinch the part of the cuff facing down. Next, use your left hand to pull the glove over your right hand and the gown sleeve. When you pull back the gown sleeve, the glove will pull back with it and let you slide your hand into the fingers. Done! Do the same with the left glove. Turn it, put it on your left palm, grab part of the cuff facing down with your left hand and the part facing up with your right hand. Pull the glove over your left hand and sleeve, pull it back with the gown, and slip into the glove. Finally, the surgical gown has to be secured. If you'd like to look at this straight away, just skip to the last section of this video. Otherwise, we'll first look at how the whole thing works when you have an assistant to help you gown and glove. The sterile gown will often already be held open for you by an assistant after you scrubbed in, especially in the OR setting. All you have to do is slip your arms into the sleeves and the gown is pulled up over your shoulders and closed at the collar and back. The wrists should remain covered by the gown. Keep your hands in front of your chest so you don't accidentally touch anything and the gown doesn't slip back down. Now it is time to get your gloves on. The assistant will often stretch the right glove open for you so you can easily get your hand in. Slide your hand in with the thumb adducted, then spread your fingers slightly. The assistant will then pull the glove all the way over your wrist and the gown sleeve. Next, the left glove will be handed to you. Stretch the cuff open with your right hand and pull it on. Again, keeping your thumb adducted initially as you slide your hand in. Now, secure the gown. The technique is always the same, whether you have self-gowned or gowned with assistance. Grab the paper tag hanging at waist level and pull off the left tie. Hold that tie firmly in your left hand and hand the paper tag to your assistant. Then do a counterclockwise turn, making the tie close the gown. Grab the end of the other tie, taking care not to touch the tag itself. Pull the tie off the tag, tie a bow, and your gown is secured. Now that you have your gown and gloves on, it's best to keep your hands clasped to your body at chest height while you're not actively using them. Great! Now you're fully gowned, gloved, and ready to go.
SurgiCast. Like our videos and subscribe to our channel to be notified regularly with our new clinical videos.